Great new day to all my self-care family and friends. Welcome to another episode of the Room to Breathe podcast. I'm your host, Life Coach 614, and I'm so thrilled to have each and every one of you here with us today. Whether you are tuning in for a dose of inspiration or you just need a couple moments of calm, you've reached the right place. Now, before we dive into today's episode, just a quick reminder. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to tap the screen, like, comment, and share. Your support helps us to connect with more amazing people like you. And if we are not friends already, make sure you give us a follow, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our latest content. I also invite you to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. We've got some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, and a bunch of free resources that are waiting just for you. It is all about empowering yourself and embracing your journey. No matter what challenges you are currently facing in life, remember that you are not alone on this path. We're all in this together, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. It is time for us to choose to prioritize our well-being, to embrace our growth, and to find peace in the present moment. So let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together.
In the quiet moments, that's where I'll find a little room to breathe, leave it all behind. Give me room to breathe, I need some time to heal my heart, to clear my mind. Gonna love myself, yeah, I believe in the power of me. Just give me room to breathe.
Our topic for discussion for today's podcast is the weight we don't see. The weight we don't see. And my call for compassion. Okay? I thought it was good today to kind of talk about something that how do I want to even put this? That we don't usually talk about, right? That we all know deep down that this is, something of importance, but we don't usually take the time to acknowledge it. And I mean everyone, right? Every single one of us is going through something. Even though oftentimes, like I said, we choose not to acknowledge it. We suppress our feelings because we don't want to either come off as vulnerable or weak. We don't want to burden the people around us. But it doesn't matter how put together a person looks, how successful they seem, how big their smile is. Behind closed doors, we're all dealing with our own battles. You ever notice how when you're struggling, right? When you're struggling with something, it feels like you're the only person that doesn't have it all together? It's like when you're going through something, everybody else's lives just look so perfect, so easy, right? Like we're the only ones living a life that feels like a mess. But like, here's the truth. You're not alone because we're all going through it. And you're never the only one going through it. That person who seems to have a perfect life, they're struggling too. Welcome in, Steph. Thank you for the screen taps. You're not the only one going through it. And that person that you feel like, oh, they've got it all together, right? Y'all look and be like, Coach got it all together. Everything's fine. What you don't understand is like, maybe that person is worried about their health. Maybe that person is in the season of dealing with this toxic relationship, right? One of those ships that they need to get off of that we talked about yesterday. Maybe they're just trying to figure out who they are, or what they're supposed to be doing with their life. The point is, we've all had our moments, right? Even if we don't talk about it, we've all had these moments of going through something. Like I said, we're all in this together, growing through those things that we're going through. So let's think about social media for a second, right? How often do you see someone post about the days when they can't get out of bed? How often do you see when people make posts about them feeling overwhelmed with anxiety or feeling completely lost? Rarely, right? Because we are collectively so used to presenting the highlight reels. We're so used to talking about the good things that are happening, right? That we forget that nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's life looks as good as it does online. Because behind all of those curated posts, there's real stuff going on. Stuff that doesn't make it to the Instagram feed. There's real life happening that doesn't show up on your Facebook timeline. Right? So when you're scrolling and you're seeing that everyone else is good, right? You're seeing everybody else's highlight reels. Just remember that that's not their full story. That there's more to this than meets the eye, right? And I think oftentimes we tend to underestimate the kind of struggles that people are facing, right? It's easy for us to assume that someone's okay because they're functioning. But people have evolved so much that we've gotten really good at hiding what's going on the inside. You never know if that coworker who always seems to be cheerful is really struggling with depression. Or if your neighbor who you see outside running every morning is using those miles to escape from grief. We don't know the details of someone else's story, but we can safely bet that something is weighing on them, because something is weighing on all of us, right? So, some people are dealing with big life-altering things, right? It could be loss, illness, financial problems. And, it's obvious that those people are hurting. They couldn't hide it if they wanted to, right? But other people are battling things that you can't see, like stress, anxiety, self-doubt, loneliness, feeling of inadequacy or not being enough. Right? Maybe they're fighting their own thoughts every day, trying to push through the feelings that they can't even explain. Maybe they're just tired. So tired, from keeping it all together for everyone else, and they wish that they could just disappear. Right? Because they're so tired of keeping it all together for everyone else while they're quietly falling apart on the inside. Yeah, the truth's behind the smile, right, Kale? And so it's not just the big stuff that wears us down either, right? Life can get so overwhelming from the little things, from the constant pressure of life to try to keep up with everything, right? The daily grind, these unspoken expectations that have been put on us or that we've put on ourselves. It's those moments when you're trying to juggle everything, work, family, your bills, your own sanity, right? It's those particular moments that feel like one more thing might break you. When you're like, God, I don't even know how much more I can take. When we've reached that point of the story where we're like, what next? Why me? I did not realize that I subscribed to the strongest soldier package. That I didn't realize that, right? And if one more thing happens, I don't know that I can take it. That might be the straw to break this camel's back, right? And the wild thing is, Most of us are doing this while we're pretending that everything is okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. Right, Smurf? I'm fine. I got this. I'm ready. I'm ready for my close-up. Hey, Dream. Welcome in, love. And thank you for sharing the live. Most of us are doing this with a smile on our face, pretending that everything's okay. We're walking around like, I've got this. While on the inside, we are holding on by a thread. Yeah, they done set me up on the wrong package. And I was told that, this package changes annually, so I got a few more months to ride this out. But I'm gonna double check before I sign on the dotted line. Smurf, this time they're not gonna get me again. Yeah. But we often forget, though, you guys, is that as lonely as this feels, we're not alone. We're in this together. And I know that it's exhausting to do this, right? We forget that going through something doesn't have to be huge, right? It doesn't have to be some dramatic event. It's that quiet wear and tear of life. I think that those are probably my hardest days, y'all. The big stuff, I'm like, cool, something major happened. Okay, I'll deal with it, right? But it's these little everyday things, right? You reaching to get some juice and the juice is gone. Somebody, left the toilet seat up. They didn't wipe the counter off. Nobody told you was out of ketchup, and now you got these fries with nothing on them. It'd be like them little things that happen, right? Those are the ones that feel like, as y'all's girl Lonnie would say, oh my God, not another thing, right? So sometimes it's just the quiet wear and tear of life, the small disappointments. Thank you, Betta. The small disappointments or the daily stress, the nagging insecurities. These are the things that slowly start to add up more and more. The problem is that we've all been conditioned to keep going. We've been taught to push through, right? And now that we've been taught to kind of push through this, now we're all walking around here acting okay when we're not okay. And that is so exhausting. Let's think about the people closest to us. The ones that we assume are fine because they don't talk about their problems. It could be your best friend who always seems strong, or a family member who's the rock that everyone leans on. We might not realize it, but even the people who seem the most put together are carrying something. Maybe they don't talk about it because they're afraid of being the burden. Or they think that they're supposed to be the one who has it all figured out, so they have to pretend. That fear of being the burden is a really big thing. Okay? Especially if you are the person that everyone leans on. You don't want to inconvenience them. Because you feel like you're the one that's supposed to have it all figured out, right? But even the strong ones, in fact, especially the strong ones, those are the ones that are often carrying the heaviest of loads. And what's tough is we really rarely even stop and think, what is that person going through? Because we get so wrapped up into our own stuff that we forget that everyone else has their own stuff too. That cashier that seemed a little off today, maybe they just got some bad news. That friend who hasn't texted you back in a while. Maybe they're struggling with their mental health and reaching out feels a little too overwhelming for them right now. Even the people who look like they have it all together might be fighting a battle that you can't see. And honestly, just because someone doesn't talk about their struggles doesn't mean that they're not feeling them. Sometimes the hardest struggles are the ones we keep to ourselves. The ones we don't feel like we can share with anyone because we think that people won't understand it. Or what's worse, we think that people are going to judge us. So we carry the weight in silence, doing our best, right? Fighting our hardest to move forward while feeling like the ground is constantly shifting beneath our feet. So today, I just want to remind you that nobody, and I mean nobody, is exempt from life's challenges. We're all human. And that means we're all going to experience times when we are going through something, where we are struggling. Whether it's with things we can talk about or the things that we choose to keep hidden. And the beauty of this is that's okay. What's not okay is feeling like we have to pretend everything is fine when it's not. That's not okay. It's okay to not be okay. It is okay to have moments where you're not your best self. What's important is to recognize that we're not alone in this and that we don't have to do this by ourselves. So if you're out here feeling like you're the only one dealing with some heavy stuff, just know that you're not. We're all here and we are all dealing with something. Every single person that you see, every single person that you meet, right? They all have a story. Some chapters are easier than others, but every single one has tough pages. The key is to remember that we're all in this together. Everyone's walking around with their own personal storm cloud. Thank you, love. Some days it's a light drizzle, and other days it is a full-on hurricane. And this is why kindness matters so much, you guys. Because even if we don't know exactly what someone is going through, we can still choose to be kind because we know that they're going through something. I don't have to know your story to know that you have a story to tell. So we can still choose to offer others understanding, patience, and grace. When we remember that everyone's dealing with something, whether we can see it or not, right? Whether we can see what they're going through or not, we know that everyone is going through something. And so, once we start to remember this, it becomes a little easier for us to soften our edges and approach others with compassion. Thank you. Sometimes all it takes is a small act of kindness to remind someone that they are not alone in their struggle. Thank you. So the next time someone seems a little distant, or maybe they're acting out of character, or maybe they snap at you when you didn't expect it, I want you guys to take the opportunity to just pause. Take a second and remind yourself that they might be going through something that you know nothing about. Take a second and remind yourself that just like you, this person is going through something too. And in that moment, when you have to make a choice, choose kindness. Choose kindness. Sometimes all it takes is a small act of kindness, right? Just to remind someone that they're not alone in their struggle. Because honestly, you guys, a small amount, just a small little moment of grace might be what they need to get through their day. So, again, we're all going through it, y'all. Each and every one of us. And just like the seasons change, and depending upon where you're located in the world, it might be morning. It's morning for me. It might be nighttime for you. The sun might be shining here and it might be storming over there. We all go through seasons. And just like those seasons, we all go through different things in our life. So it is simply important for us to know that even though we may feel lonely, we are not alone in this. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Thank you for joining us. And if you enjoyed our time together, be sure to give us a follow and subscribe to our channel so that way you never miss out on our latest content. And don't forget to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. There you can book a personalized one-on-one coaching session with me. We also have some amazing affirmative apparel and other motivational merch designed just for you. There's also a treasure trove of free resources out there for you. So whether you're looking to elevate your self-care game or you just need to find a few extra moments of calm, a little inspiration to get you through the day, know that we've got you covered. I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the Self-Care Club community. And I'm excited to connect with you all again soon. But until next time, I want to encourage you to keep breathing, stay positive, and remember that you will always be supported here at the Self-Care Club. Don't be afraid to take up space and make a little room for you to breathe. I pray that each and every one of you have an amazing day on purpose, filled with nothing but purpose. And I look forward to us connecting again soon. Thank you, guys.
I found my